afternoon, everybody. I thought I'd catch up with you all. I haven't been on my socials whatsoever over the last month. I've hardly trained over the last month as well, through different reasons, and this is the video where I'm just going to explain what's up, what's gone on, and what's happening, and just what the crack is really. So this all starts way before this, way before I started doing any of this endurance stuff, when I was in my early 30s. So when I was in my early 30s, I had a nosebleed for several days on and off. Ended up collapsing one day. I got rushed to hospital. I ended up in Sunderland, ears, nose and throat. Spent a week in there. Ended up getting an operation on my nose because my nose wouldn't stop bleeding. At that point, this is, look, you've got very high blood pressure. We need to check it out. Check this out. I was in and out of hospital for the next year, getting everything checked, what I possibly could, whatever they thought it might be. Everything turned up blank. I was absolutely fine. Sometimes just hereditary. It turns out my mum had a bit high blood pressure as well, so I guess I'm getting it from my mother. But at that point, they just said, look, you're going to have to take medication for the rest of your life, which I have done. I have to go every year for basic, what I call an MOT. I get my BMI checked, get my blood checked, and I get my blood pressure checked as well, just to make sure everything's okay, make sure the medication's okay, make sure my body's okay. That's gone tickety-boo for years. Every now and then, every couple of years, it's been going up. I have to take more medication, because your body just gets used to the medication. So, like I've said, back then in my early 30s, I took one tablet a day, and it was 4 milligrams of candesartan. Today, at 32-year-old, I'm now take I think it's 10 milligrams of amlodipine. This is per day. And I'll take 4 of these, which are 4 milligrams of doxycycline. I take them. And the candesartan I started taking all them years ago, which were, I think I'm up to 32. I'm up to 32 milligrams these days. That started off at 4 milligrams. But that was when I was in my early 30s. I'm now in my early 50s. So, last time I had to go for a check, which is just a little bit earlier on this year. The year before that, I had been for a check, and it was slightly elevated, my blood pressure. The levels go last year, as to say, maybe it was just reaching up a little bit. Sometimes it can be just high in the day, just through different circumstances. You have white coat syndrome, which I don't think I have that. Just in case any of you don't know what white coat syndrome is, just when you go to a doctor's or some sort of medical place, you get a bit scared and you just don't like it, so your blood pressure automatically just goes up. So anyway, I ain't got that. So anyway, on my last time I was there getting my MOT check at the doctor's, they decided that it was time for us to put us on some other medication. Maybe these ones aren't good enough anymore, or there's just and may I say, I'm maxed out on all of these now. I can't go any higher on any of these as far as I know. That's what the doctors have told us. So, I've got this new one. I am not even going to pronounce it. I'm going to put the name here on the bottom of the screen. So, spiral something, right, I cannot pronounce it, right? So anyway, I started taking these. Now, I started taking these about 3.5 weeks-ish to doing the 3 Peak Ultra. So what normally happens when I get new medication, you start taking the medication, and then in 2 weeks time, you go back, you get your bloods done, get your blood pressure checked, if everything's fine, okay, you just start taking the new medication. And that's exactly what I did. Went back 2 weeks later, it made myself, I felt okay, I felt fine. My blood pressure dropped down, my bloods were fine, so as far as everything was concerned, medically wise, we were fine. So, leading up to the 3 Peak Ultra, the week beforehand, I had felt a little bit tired and I had felt a little bit dehydrated. I was thinking it was maybe something to do with, have I overtrained, am I not eating enough carbs, am I not getting enough electrolytes in my body, am I not resting, all the usual stuff. Whenever you're tired doing anything, physical, you've got to look at what am I eating, what's me resting. Because they're the main two factors in doing anything, and especially endurance stuff. You've got to look at them first. So I started fiddling about with them a little bit, increasing carbs, which I don't mind. I don't mind eating more, and I don't mind drinking more carbs in my daily diet. Same as the sodium, same as the electrolytes, up all them. So anyway, Dave the Ultra, as lots of you know, if you watches, yes, I fell on the day, but on the day I was tired all of that day doing that. I had a bad stomach all that day doing that. Did I fall because I was a bit depleted? Did I fall because I was a bit dehydrated? God only knows that one. But whatever happened has happened. I got injured. I couldn't do nothing else about it. That's that done. So moving on to Windermere, I'm still kind of doing that event because my knee's still hurting from the 3 Peak Ultra event. So moving on to coast both ways. Now there was about 5 weeks in between both of these events. So the first 2 weeks I actually started feeling good. After that, after this is going to get really hard to keep up with. So 3 Peak Ultra, for the next 2 weeks I started feeling quite good actually, even though I was injured, and I just thought, am I resting more? But the only thing I didn't realise is these tablets were in the back of my son's car. Now I didn't take them for them 2 weeks, but I was injured, so I just thought the rest was doing as good and I started to feel better. So then when I started running again, by that point my son was back from Ireland, so I got these back out of his car and I started taking them again. Then I done one of my second fastest 5Ks I've done in a long time on that Monday. Thought, great, that's champion, that's brilliant. My son gave us these. I started taking this medication again, and then leading up to the coast, I started feeling a little bit tired again, a bit lethargic, a bit weak, again dehydrated, and I just thought, you know what it is, I mustn't be putting it up. And it's been very hot, as you all know, it's been mentally hot this summer. So I just thought, am I not getting enough fluids in? Again, you question your hydration, you question your fueling, you question your rest. There's no other things in it with me. I'm not drinking whenever I'm training for these big events. I don't drink. I don't do a lot of social things. I just stick to my training. So leading up to the coast itself, on that week, I didn't feel too bad, but still felt like I couldn't really push it on the bike. Felt like I was struggling. Didn't feel like I didn't feel like I had any energy to push hard. Anyway, the day of the coast itself, obviously I didn't finish it, but we'll come back to that. I'm going to make another separate video about the events and what I think, what's happened, what's going on, what I'm looking at going forward from them. This video is just what's happened and what I know. Now I know, and now I've worked it all out, what's exactly gone on. So on the day I felt really tired when I got up. Yes, it was early morning, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I started my bike ride at 4:30. Normally whenever I'm doing big endurance bike rides, I never start off fast. I always just take my time for the first couple of hours. Reason being is, I've always like to just settle in on the bike. I've always just like to just take my time, settle in. It's early mornings, nobody likes being up early in anyway. So by the time I got to Chester-le Street, I thought, right, I'm going to start pushing it now at Chester-le Street. And every time I tried to push it on the bike, my hamstrings first, they were the first things, they start cramping up. Then the back of my whole back of my legs started cramping up. And whenever I got out the saddle, my quads just locked up every single time. By this point, my calves started locking up as well. So in hindsight, what I should have done at that point, I should have just bailed it there and then. Me being me, stubborn, stupid, I kept going and I kept on going. Because one, I'm just stubborn. Two, I knew my girlfriend was going to be in Whitehaven I knew she was going to be there to give us the rest of the fuel and equipment that I needed to come back through the night from Whitehaven back to North Shields. So anyway, I suffered really for about, well, more than 10 hours on the bike. Every time I tried to push hard, my legs just cramped. So gets to Whitehaven, says tell my lass, that's it, I'm bailing it. Still 130 miles, I've still pedalled from the northeast coast to the northwest coast. It's still a massive achievement. It's 130 miles in 30 hours, whilst I'm not feeling well, whilst I'm not feeling good, whilst my legs won't work properly. So I take it as a Bevan sheet. Again, I'm going to come back to this in another video. I'm just going on about the reason what's going on, what's happening medical wise. So by this point, I'm starting to think, what's up with me? What's going on? What's the crampness? What in my legs, in my stomach? Why do I feel dehydrated? Why do I feel tired? Why? So anyway, luckily my lass is a nurse practitioner, so she's got the book of all of these things, every medication you've ever taken in the world. She's got the book. We read up about these. The first line starts with dehydration, cramping, stomach cramps, weakness, tiredness. And I thought, there you go, I've knocked the nail on the head. That's what it is. That's what's been making us like this. I'm not just trying to say this is a cop out, like, oh God, he didn't do it, and all that, carry on. I knew there was something up with this. I've known a little bit over the last 3 months. I don't feel my normal energetic self, as in on the bike or on the run. My swims haven't been too bad actually, but the running and biking bit is just, I've struggled, really struggled. So went to see the doctor, spoke to him. He's basically said that that's it. I've tried every tablet there is to take now. There's none left apart from something called beta blockers, which basically just slow your heart rate down. With me already having a very slow heart rate in any way, because I'm quite fit, he suggested they're just not a thing to do and not a thing to take. Basically he's telling us to make some lifestyle choices. These are things that I just didn't know about. I knew caffeine would elevate your blood pressure in some way. It's a stimulant, isn't it? That's what it is. He says that's really bad. So, and I didn't realise electrolytes and sodium was so bad for if you've got hypertension, which is what high blood pressure is technically called, hypertension. So I didn't know that elevates hypertension, new one to me. So I'm making some lifestyle choices in both of them. I've knocked caffeine on the head totally. I have 1 cup of tea a day. I know it's got caffeine in, but I still love a cup of tea. Coffee now, I do decaf. It doesn't taste that bad, to be fair. Everybody says it tastes horrible, but it actually doesn't. Sodium wise, I used to plaster a load of salt on a lot of stuff. I'm an absolute glutton for fish and chips. I live at the coast. I'm Geordie, man. It's what we eat, man. Apart from Greg's as well, like. But so I've decided to knock all sodium on the head as much as possible. It isn't until I've looked into sodium and I realise how much sodium is in lots of the food that we eat. It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Again, I'm just digressing on that one. I'm going to do that in another video. So I've made them 2 choices, changed them, and I thought, all right, champion, I should feel better in a couple of weeks, but I haven't. I just really haven't. I've really struggled on the bike still. Really struggled on the running. It's been terrible. Like I can't even run 3 mile. I literally cannot run 3 mile. I've gone from running 6 to 10 mile every 2 days to now I can't even run 3 miles. So I was explaining to my girlfriend when on holiday. When she came back, I was explaining all my symptoms, what's the matter with us. Obviously, because it's been getting us down. I've been feeling really down about it. Like, if I don't train, it gets me down. It's my life. It's what I love. It's what I enjoy. It's my passion. It's my hobby. It's what I love. So not being able to go and do the thing I love, it's got us down a bit. You know, I'm not depressed or anything like that, but I am down a bit about the whole thing. So she started having a little look around and maybe, you know, seeing if there's reason why I am feeling like this. I can walk around okay, I'm fine, but I am tiring very quickly. I have been the run and bike. My legs just feel like they go like lumps of rock. Basically, that's the only thing I can explain it. Lumps of rock, and I feel like I'm out of breath, and I shouldn't be because I'm not pushing it that hard. So we think we found something what it could be, which really it leads to trauma in your legs, in muscle tissue, basically. So bear with this here. Basically it. That's what we think that's the matter with us. So I've never really heard of it before, but it all just fits in. It just absolutely fits into place. The reason being is I've probably pushed my legs so far doing that coast to coast when I should have just bailed it. I should have just stopped. When my legs weren't working, I should have stopped at that point. But because I'm so stupid and stubborn, I didn't. I've kept on pushing my legs for another 10 hours, made them do 130 miles, cramping constantly. Every time I'm pushing hard, they're cramping even more. So I don't know what else to say. I'm a fool to myself, and I know that, and I've had to deal with that, and I've drew a line under that. I've drew a line under this year. Like, I came into this year with all these big plans, these big events. You know, the 3 Peak Ultra. I've been thinking about that for years and working out how I could do it. Windermere was supposed to be to do Ironman. Then the coast to coast both ways was something I've been wanting to do for years as well. Again, and I shouldn't see why not. I should be able to do it. I've done big enough rides to be able to do that. And then now I'm injured and I can't even do Ironman. So because unfortunately I've ended up taking these tablets, and because unfortunately I'm stupid and I can't say no and I can't stop, I've actually injured myself to the point where I've actually had to stop training, and I can't train at this moment in time. So that's all I've got to say about it really. I'm gutted, I'm devastated, but life moves on and I'm going to move on. I'm now going to look more into my high blood pressure. I'm going to have to. If there's no more medication I can take, and there's nothing else we can do, what I've got to do, sorry, I'll just catch up a little bit on that, is, so what my doctor said is we're going to do this test. I forgot what it's called. It's a little machine, goes on my arm, checks my blood pressure, and it averages it out through the day. So I'm going to do that. I think I'll pick that up on the 9th of September. We're going to do that, and then we're going to send the results from that to cardiology, see what they say, and see if they've got anything they can add or do or help me out with. But for now, I'm just watching my diet, which is sodium, keeping that down to bare minimum. Caffeine, I've zeroed that out totally and utterly. Apart from 1 cup of tea I'm going to have a day, because I can't do without a cup of tea. And other than that, there might be some of the lifestyle choices I might have to change to keep my blood pressure down. Yes, I know doing endurance events elevates your blood pressure, but I've been reading some literature. Yes, it does when you're pushing, but at some point your body should get used to it and it should actually come down, especially endurance stuff what I do. I'm not in zone 5, I'm not in a zone 3, 4 really. I'm trying to go for zone 2. I'm trying to be in a nice easy place so I can go longer. Like I've stressed out before, I am not the fastest, but I like to think I've got lots of endurance so I can go further. Anyway, there are more things I'm going to mess about with. So that's basically it for now. I'm going to, like I say, do another video on what I think about my events, what I've done wrong, why I've done it wrong, what's going to go on, and where I'm going to go from here. That's a different video. I just want to catch up with you all and just tell you where I am medical wise. So I feel okay, I'm okay. I've had a nice week off work. I've been up to see Oasis up Scotland, spent a lot of time with my lass, spent a lot of time in Scotland, my favourite place in the world, and I feel much better. I'm actually going to go on my bike now and go for a little bike ride, see how my legs feel. The heart feeling a bit better. The reason being is I live in a 4-storey apartment, so I have been struggling for weeks coming up the stairs, but what I have noticed over this last week, I'm getting better at coming up the stairs. I'm not out of breath. My legs don't feel like a cramp when I seize now, so that's a plus. So I'm just going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. If this is on me YouTube, please like, subscribe.